You filthy animals.
How's my buddies over at the R2 Sonic Campfire doing today?
Never well. Keep them warm.
Oh, man.
You guys should come. You're my good luck charms, man. I always catch fish with you guys.
Is there room on the bus?
Because I look at you guys, and the 8 or 9 of you guys impressed me a lot. You know, because I first ran. Okay. You know.
No, go on.
You guys.
I don't do advertising. You're not going to see me on billboards or in newspapers, classifieds, none of that. Well, yeah, there's that because, you know, you guys are awesome. But
Yeah, well, that's comforting to know in case I say something stupid.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're hearing it real
That's
time.
kind of our thing, so don't step on our turf.
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh, man, I hope I don't.
What we're saying is actually new, so that's why we're fumbling a little bit, but it's going to sound amazing.
And we are back.
Ooh.
Someone's excited.
Yeah,
This
he
is
is.
Rutton River Pursuits podcast, and you are in the Sonic Campfire. This is Reality Outdoor Radio, where our mission is to get you outdoors by connecting you to the people, skills, and products that you can trust.
You can trust them.
Mm-hmm. You sure can. Hey, this is Bucky, and who do we have around the table tonight?
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Will.
Well, that was a quick round of table.
I was still listening for more, man.
Huh.
That's
Crickets.
cricket.
Crickets.
And, yeah,
That's
Jiminy. We don't even have Jiminy
I'll
with
tell you what.
Bucky rubbing his legs together.
Stop it. I use Gold Bond for that problem, guys. And we're not going to get into
Good
that.
to know.
And before we go any further, I got to stop and throw it over to Ryan for him to tell us about who's sponsoring this month's episodes.
I'll tell you about this month's sponsor.
Tell me.
This month's episodes are brought to you in part by Protection First Class Outdoors. PFC lubes were designed and developed to protect and lubricate your firearms, your bows, your tree stands, heck, all your outdoor equipment.
What about fishing rods?
Absolutely fishing rods, Stevie. You know it.
No way.
You know it.
Even kniveses?
You can use it on all your knives, Bucky. The ones you made and the ones you bought. Guys, I'm telling you, this stuff was originally designed to use in automotive undercoatings. Now, it don't get more corrosive than that.
I heard that.
That's true.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, buddy.
Does it leave a film or residue?
Absolutely not, Brian. No film, no residue. This stuff isn't going to harm the bluing on your firearms, any other kind of finish you got on any of your other outdoor products. This stuff is the ticket. And what? Now, wait.
I bet it freezes.
It does not freeze, Bucky.
What?
Oh.
But there's one more thing I got to tell you about. This stuff will also act as a cover scent.
You got
How
me.
many, how many times you ever taken a well-protected and lubricated piece of equipment in the outdoors? It stinks, boys.
It
Yes,
stinks.
it does.
Not this stuff. They got the earth and the pine cover scent mixed right into the lubricant.
Wow.
They
Come
thought
on.
of
Can't beat it.
everything.
That's right, guys. Make sure you head on over to pfcoutdoors.com. Check out everything they got going on over there. Pick up some of that lube. It's the ticket.
I tell you what, guys, I used some of that PFC for
Did you, Bucky?
deodorant the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, I
How'd
didn't.
that work?
I ran out of my my dead downwind cover scent.
Yeah.
So I just sprayed some up under each arm.
Yeah.
And I went
Well, you can run a marathon.
Did you
after
go with
that,
the
too,
earth or
because
the
of
pine?
earth, because I don't hunt in pine. We discussed that last week.
See, I was just testing you to make sure you're
And
paying attention.
I
You
tell you
didn't-
what, I didn't squeak at all walking in.
That's good.
It was great.
He's like the Tin
That
Man.
needs lubed.
And that needs lube.
But it worked. Love me some PFC out.
But you
Love
didn't.
it.
You didn't hear anything like nothing.
No,
No one blew at you.
No one blew at me, no grunts, but that's for the current, guys, because we have a special treat.
Yeah, we do. I wanted to say, we went around the table real quick, but
And we had to skip some dudes.
we did, didn't we?
Yeah, because it didn't fit in with the
What
format.
did you do, Bucky? I'm wondering who these guys are.
We have some guests in studio,
Is that right?
and you know how I always get. I get a little extra giddy
You do, bud.
when I can look them in the eye.
Don't do it.
Yeah. I like these nights. We have with us tonight Dylan Horst and Jared Garman from Hunt Camp. Guys, stop me. Can I say formerly 717 Outdoors?
You can.
All
Good
right.
thing, because you already did.
Yeah. And I have a vintage shirt now, guys.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do, buddy.
In fact, I wore that shirt in one of our earlier video teasers, and I love it. I'm proud to always wear that 717 outdoors.
We took notice of that. We saw you were wearing one.
Appreciate that.
I like that. I think it's just kind of, hey, this 717.
So
we're doing it.
Dylan, you've been here before, right?
I have.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to participate in that episode, so I wasn't going to miss this one tonight.
You miss out on a lot of guests.
I know. I know. You guys.
No, it's like lucky too. I mean,
you guys keep baby in the corner.
You're here every week. You're here time after time.
Yeah.
But when we get
until you do cool stuff and you don't tell me about it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I see how it is.
Apologize.
But yeah. So Dylan, what do you think now? When you were here before, the studio looked a little bit different. We moved in to a slightly new spot.
Oh, it's nice. It looks legit.
It's not decorated yet, but
It looks good. I'm impressed.
No, that's nice of you to say.
So for all the folks at home, could you guys give us a quick rundown now? Let's start with the reason for Hunt Camp.
Let me start.
Okay, go ahead, bud.
And with a question.
That's a restart.
Is anyone as excited about the rebrand as I am? Like I can't believe I loved 717. I love you guys being so close to us and blah blah blah, and it's all about me. But like this Hunt Camp has so much potential.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear a lot more about it from you guys. But like, are you excited?
You can't
I can't
hide it.
Don't get him started.
He's so close to getting loud.
I want to.
Go ahead, Bucky.
I just love the name Hunt Camp.
Yeah.
And speaking from a guy that's not an original Pennsylvanian.
Never heard that before.
I will tell you, I love the roots that Hunt Camp has. It's bigger. It's going to help you guys be more universal instead of locked down into the 717, mind frame. But yet you are retaining your Pennsylvania roots and putting that to the forefront. And I will tell you the story why I say that. When I moved to this state 20 years ago, I kept on hearing about Hunt Camp.
Yeah.
And my husband, I hate it when my husband goes up to Hunt Camp. I never hear from him. Oh, my husband's going to Hunt Camp again. Hunt Camp this, Hunt. Well, I started thinking, well, is this Hunt Camp like an establishment of somewhat of ill repute around this place, or
the dread?
Yeah, what's going on? I had to ask, and then and I learned how big
I know what you mean.
Fellas going up to their hunt camps, and a hunt camp can mean a tent in the middle of the woods, or it can be glamping. I've learned now after 20 years, guys.
It can be a whole lot more than that, because I grew up hunting in Pennsylvania, and we always went to camp every year. And from the time I was about 17 or 18 years old, Hunt Camp for me was my uncle's farm up in Tioga County. But it was camp.
Yeah. Yep.
So camp means so much. So keeping with keeping Pennsylvania sexy, like Will likes to say. And you guys, it was pretty sweet as 717 Outdoors, super local. But this Hunt Camp thing, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited. We all grew up going to deer camp, hunt camp, and we just kind of felt like when 717 kind of reached its peak, we felt we needed to kind of get out more and also keep our roots. As Pennsylvania hunters, a lot of us grew up, our first introduction to hunting was deer camp, and that was what really resonated with us, going to turkey camp or deer camp, and we kind of wanted to keep those core values, and what happens at deer camp is so much more than just a kill. I mean, there's so much that goes on, pranks and having fun.
If you've been to my camp, it's very rarely a kill.
Yeah, I mean, anymore it can be that, but yeah, we just have a blast with it, and when we had reached that peak with 717, we just knew we had to kind of expand more and get out there and find more followers that weren't in this area and still connect with our people and out of the area. And just Hunt Camp kind of came to us from all those trips we took together, and it just was what we wanted to do, and we felt like it was a good name. And when people search social media, you're searching for hunting or something related to that, and Hunt Camp is probably something that's going to pop up right away. So
sure,
just felt so right to kind of move in that direction.
It's crisp, it's clear, it's a head slapping name, and to be honest, I'm surprised you even could obtain it.
I know. I think that's the thing is, like, there's so many people out there filming and have a Facebook page or whatever, and you go through all the names, and everything you can think of is out there. And when we looked up for Hunt Camp, there really wasn't anybody using it, or if they were, they weren't putting out much. So we felt, hey, why not just take over and take it? So that's what we did.
I love it.
Perfect.
Now I can say I'm going to hunt camp.
Nice.
And I don't even have to leave the house.
So, Jared, tell me a little bit. What can folks see? What can they find when they go out there and they get a hold of you guys at Hunt Camp?
Well, I think, what we're striving for this year is to just be real and show reality and show, our experiences, whether they're good or bad. I know years in the past we put episodes together and it could go a full year until we got that out. And I know how, that can be till that year's up, you kind of forget about it. And so we want to be putting out videos, try and put them out weekly if we can. And
sure, yeah.
And just show everything, the ups and downs, the emotions, just everything that goes along with that.
No, that's super cool because I know one of our taglines or our slogans, right from the get-go with Rut and River Pursuits was that, we like to share the highs and the lows. So it's, this is right in line with that. You don't want to hide that stuff because those are the real learning experiences. Right. You know what I mean? If you just go out and show, this is me in my tree stand, here comes the deer, I shoot the deer, this is me holding the deer.
Last light, blah, 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 blah. It's perfect situation.
Yeah, last day, last light.
Don't get me wrong, there was a time when that was the ticket. Like, that's all people wanted to see because that idea was so new and so fresh, and the fact that you could hop on YouTube and just start searching all these random videos of people just slamming hogs, not
swamp donkeys,
not swine, but big old,
because they're doing that too.
Big old buck.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
People, I think now they're more. They want the content. They want the story. It's really about the story. It's about the experience. The kill, if it's even there, is it's secondary to everything else. So it's cool that you described it that way.
Yeah, and I mean, like when we grew up watching hunts, I mean, we watched Real Tree Monster Bucks, and you watch those videos, which they're awesome, but it's a guy in a tree stand doing an interview quick, and deer coming out, and he shoots a monster buck, and does his little interview afterwards, and it's over. It's the like next guy.
I call that like the WWE of hunting. It's a formula. It's
he dropping an elbow.
dropping elbows and
mandible claw
and suplexes.
The camel clutch. We could do this all night.
Yeah, exactly. But to your point, that's wears thin real quick.
Yeah.
And even reality television isn't reality. Everybody edits it down. They push it in a certain direction. And I think people, the things that I'm noticing that are trending better now in the socials are people who are willing to bear every emotion that goes along behind it. They're bearing their souls, and that takes a lot of bravery. Hats off to you guys for putting your toes into that market.
And the thing that can be tough is, there's a lot of critics as hunters. I mean, even with 717, like we were trying to always show the highs of hunting and, the success, and we weren't always showing the lows. And, even if you put a bad shot on a deer, which everybody's probably done it if you've hunted enough. And for us, there was times where somebody put a bad shot on a deer and maybe we didn't recover it, or it was just a bad recovery and you didn't want to show it. And, people want to see that, but you're definitely going to take some criticism from people. I mean, it's always there. No matter if you shoot a 110-inch deer, like somebody's going to criticize it. But for the most part, we just want to be real. And I think there for a little bit, we were trying to maybe hold ourselves up a little bit higher. And you kind of get that ego sometimes that you film and hunt and you think you know it all, and you're trying to kill big duck or bucks.
I like big ducks too, but
and I cannot lie.
Trying to kill big bucks, and it's just people don't always want to see that. People want to learn from your mistakes, and I think for us now, it's like, hey, let's just show it all. The good, the bad, and the ugly, and whatever else. And
that's quacktastic.
It is.
Yeah, and the further you dig down in the comment threads and stuff like that, you're never going to get away from trolls.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's really all the chirping that I see anymore. It's the people who are doing these things intentionally to provoke a response and start some sort of an argument. Even, to this day, just going through Facebook, now that archery season's open to Pennsylvania, they're just like every other picture is somebody, with the grip and grin sitting behind something. And the overwhelming responses are positive. You know, you'll get some idiot in there every once in a while, but again, I think those are just those people that are doing it intentionally to provoke something. You know, who knows? It could be anti-hunters. It could be anybody. But the vast majority, overwhelming majority of people just super supportive, and it's awesome. You know, it could be a little kid with a spike buck where he's got the crossbow leaning against it, all the way up to somebody in, you know, the northeastern part of the state that's laying behind like a 180 with the recurve.
Or if it's Uncle Buck and his Ford Explorer behind him with the buck, yeah, we got it.
Yeah, so it's a good point, Bucky. I'm sorry I left that one out in my example.
That one. That's how I get mine. But
yeah, but I mean, people are a lot more. The overwhelming majority of people, anyway, are super positive about it, and that's why I like seeing the full story like that, because that's where you learn. Like you said, people want to learn from the mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited for what, you know, the future holds, and in this industry, I mean, it's kind of switched over from the outdoor channel and stuff like that to a lot more YouTube and social media. That's how kind of people are taking in their content, and you know, for us, it's free. You know, the outdoor channel and stuff like that's something that we'll never probably accomplish. So, you know, we want to film and hunt and put it on social media and YouTube, and you will have people that criticize stuff, and sometimes you just got to scroll past it and let it go.
Yeah. The best thing you can do is not interact, you know.
Yeah, and that's and there's some channels that I follow that, I mean, they always have like a smart line back, and I was like, man, I wish I could be that clever to kind of get back, but it doesn't get you anywhere.
No, it just propagates it. It spreads it. If you just don't say anything, you're doing more damage to them than anything. But having said that, like, since you guys are transitioning from, like you said, you wanted to show like the better parts of hunting and blah 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 blah. Not saying that you're going to the bad parts of hunting. I'm saying, what were you missing that you want to start to include now?
I think from the last 2 seasons where we were really filming and kind of on Carbon TV, we focused on the good, you know, the good hunts, you know, and from that we would produce maybe 7 or 8 episodes, and we weren't really, you know, informing anybody. It was kind of like, hey, we're hunting here, and you know, show some B-roll and kill a buck, and that's about it. And you know, for people, you see on social media a lot, people want to learn and people want to know why you do something, and even the best hunters want to know, you know, what you're doing or tactics that you tried, and there's always something to learn in the outdoor industry. And you know, for us, there's 8 of us, and for the most part, somebody's hunting a couple times that week, and you know, we're always seeing things in the outdoors or when we're hunting, and you know, we want to be able to share that with people. Even like, you know, when the rut starts kicking in, you know, people have their whole system that they think by the moon or whatever. But you know, when you have enough guys out and you can see deer moving, it's like, hey, that's, you know, just let people know, hey, the bucks are starting to chase. Sure. You know, get out there. You got a cold front moving.
It's real time.
And that's what we wanted to do. Is I think in the previous years, it was more like, all right, let's film, and then we'll release stuff next season, like, you know, the next summer or whatever, or the coming season. And, like, by then, people were lost. Like, we'd kill a buck, and, you know, the next week, people were like, hey, when are we going to see that video? Oh, well, we got to edit it, and we'll release it next year on Carbon, you know. And by then, when it comes out, people, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to get it out more, you know, like Jared.
How regular were you?
Like last year we struggled, but for the most part, you know, we had maybe 8 or 9 episodes, but we weren't really active on social media besides maybe taking some pictures, you know, and maybe throwing up some video clips of stuff, but we weren't active like we wanted to be.
I'm excited.
This year
for
we
this
just we wanted to be
more
active and share stuff as it's happening so people can relate and see what's going on. Like, you know, Jared killed a buck 2 weeks ago, and we put that film out last week. So like it was awesome that people got excited and saw this, you know, 144-inch, you know, PA buck kill. Nice. A week later, we have the video out and people can watch it. It's right there. Yeah, it's still fresh in your mind. And so that's huge.
I'll cut in here. Last year was a real eye opener for us too. You know, back in 2000.
Were you wearing blindfolds?
Yeah. Back in 2000.
Like an Amish horse?
It felt like it went by quick.
Yeah, it did. But in 2016, we had a pretty good year. We got pretty many kills on camera, and it worked well for us. But then last year we just struggled. We had so many. So it seemed like so many downs, so many hits, and it seemed like, you know, we were basing everything on whether we killed, and if we didn't get a good kill on camera, well, then we didn't have any footage. And it's like, what about all those hunts in between there? What about all those memories and, things?
Amen. Yeah.
And so like that, it was a real eye opener. Like we kind of talked about that maybe even before last year. And then with the way that went down, it's like, man, we just got to show the emotions and everything that goes into it and the memories and what it's really about. And
right.
So that's kind of why we decided to switch over this year. And
it's crazy for me as an editor. I'll have a hard drive and it's filled with videos from all season long.
Yeah.
And to only pick out the footage of when guys killed, and then we have all that other footage that we weren't using. It was like, man, this is kind of a waste. We need to get that out there. We need to share with people, because people want to see that. People want to see you hunting and what you're doing and all that. And it just felt like we were leaving so much behind.
Well, and for educational purposes, you bring up all this footage that you had but you didn't show. How much of it is for guys like me that could learn by? Do you have does blowing at you, bucks scenting, catching your scent, turning around? Because I think things like that and those are on that. Those happen 3 out of every 4 hunts or whatever. I'm just throwing numbers out there, not to do
those
any
are real
math.
numbers.
There they are. But share that stuff. I mean, guys like me need to know that, and I think the public will embrace you for that because it is real. I don't know how you can get any more real than that. If you go 4 weeks no buck down, and fifth week you got a buck down, that's reality. I mean, I've already been out twice this year, and nothing down. So that's reality.
Did anything blow at you?
No, I was good.
You're lucky. I think that there's a lot to teach, and we've been talking a lot about the deliberation that happens of how you set your stand, where you set your stand, why you pick that area. Like I love that. Like that's where I'm at right now is like the
chess,
the chess game that is deer, and how you can be, a couple yards off of where you need to be to get what you're after.
And I think that's like the wonderful thing about, public land, especially up north where we hunt a lot of times is, being able to read a map, for me, like I've never really been able to read a map. Like I might look at it and think I know, but to be able to tell like, where's this funnel at or why are deer moving through here and, being able to pick up a map and trying to figure that out and then, getting in there and making it happen. Like people want to know, like, because most people can't read a map. Like you can look at a map and you can say, oh, I might go here, but being able to figure out why deer are moving around, this pinch point or what they're doing here, and then being able to make it happen and then share it. Like people want to see that. And when you don't make it happen and deer skirting you 80, 90 yards, sitting back down and figuring out why that was happening and going back and executing it, like people want to see that. And for us for a long time we weren't sharing that kind of stuff. And even like I think about the other week when Jared was down filming me, and he probably doesn't even know this, but we had 2 young doe that kept coming out and feeding, and for probably 10 minutes this one doe just kept staring at us. And it's getting to the point where it's getting close to dark, or we have like 45 minutes left. And I just want her to leave in case case a buck shows up and she doesn't bust me. And he's probably filming some B-roll and she's staring at me and I'm just doing like a little slow motions just to get her to get out of here. Not enough to like.
So that's why she took off.
Not enough to spook her out, but just enough that she realizes
you flicked your tail.
I should go. Like get out of here, because the last thing I want is a buck walking in and I'm drawing back and she's snorting or blowing and running. Like, and I didn't tell Jared that, but that's the things you do sometimes to hopefully kill a buck.
I heard that.
He was hoping she'd work towards him because he punched his tag already.
Yeah, I was getting ready, and then he went and spooked her off.
I'm afraid we might have just glossed right over that fact that somebody at this table has punched their tag on, was that 144?
144 inches.
I've been holding back on talking about current hunting topics just to focus on, but if you want to knock that wall down, I'm all for it.
We can circle back around whatever we need to talk
because
about.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the beginning of the season. I've got some things I need to learn from these boys too.
Good.
All right.
Right after we get done with Jared's buck story.
Yeah. Sorry.
It is a Sonic Campfire after all. There's nothing better than a good buck story around the campfire.
Big buck.
Relive. BBD.
Did you ever hear the saying "right place at the right time"? Or maybe you usually
I haven't experienced it, but I've heard
me, I usually hear "wrong place at the wrong time" or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it was just complete.
There was minding my own business.
I usually hear blind squirrel always finds a nut, or sometimes finds a nut.
Yeah. Makes sense, too.
Anyone else?
Broken clock, nothing? All right, here we go.
It was Friday morning, the 27th, September 27th, and I wasn't even planning on going out. I was planning on going out.
You guys hunt special.
Yeah, down
Special
in 5C,
Special reg.
Chester County.
Nice.
And so I was going to go out in the evening. I had my truck going into the garage for the afternoon to get work done. Was going to go out in the evening, and things worked out. I could make it out in the morning instead. My dad found out he could come out too, so we're like, okay, let's go hunt in the morning. And I actually was just kind of on a scout mission. I didn't go to my normal couple stands. I went to a tree that I used to hunt in the past. Just figured I'm going to sit there and see if anything walks by.
Climber?
Yeah, climber. And don't you know, this was the first thing I walked by.
Yahtzee, huh?
But yeah, I actually walked by it like 30, 40 yards, didn't give me a shot, and went up and bedded down about 75 yards away. And so I texted my dad and said, it's going to be a long day because I ain't moving until he moves.
I'm not going anywhere.
And it just worked out perfect. About an hour later, 2 doe worked straight up past me. We're feeding right to my left about 15 yards.
Hey.
And I kept watching him, and sure enough, here he got up and started coming my way right to them.
Nice.
And it was just the icing on the cake. He came
That's
right
crazy
in.
because, I mean, they're not like in any kind of like sexual mode.
I think he was just curious. I mean, they were there feeding for a while, and I think he just decided he's just going to come check them out. And
How you doing?
Yeah.
They are a very social animal. So even though there isn't really any drive behind it, he's not going to scent check them or anything like that.
Platonic.
Yeah,
Purely plutonic
this time.
and consensual.
Yes.
But yeah, that's awesome. That's a great set. So that was the morning before the statewide opener.
That's correct.
Or no, that was a week.
No, it was
a
a
week in the morning.
Yeah. It would have been the first week of that early opening.
Is there any regrets taking your 144 this early?
I would never have a regret taking that.
I was going to say.
I'm not picky to begin with, but I've shot an opening day buck already that wasn't very big, but maybe I had regrets with that one.
I would not. I wouldn't. Just shoot him when you see him. So
most of us guys are.
Our standards are pretty low.
Yeah, we're PA
We're
boys.
PA hunters. That's right.
And I mean, like, we don't just love the deer hunt. I mean, we love to goose hunt and fox hunt and fall turkey and bear. So it's like, man, get that out of the way and focus on some other things and kind of relax.
Like pheasant hunting.
Yeah, pheasant hunting if you want to do. I mean, it just kind of takes that weight off your shoulders when you kill a buck early.
Yeah.
Especially when it's that caliber.
Yeah, you put a little bit of meat in the freezer, you're cruising the rest of the time.
Right.
That's great. How many tags do you guys end up with?
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, down in Chester County with 5C and 5T, we can pretty much unlimited almost.
Clean up, yeah.
I
might have some.
Like when you go get them over the counter, they give them off like a roll, like a carnival, don't
How
they?
many rolls you want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they try to force feed
arm's length.
Oh, but if you buy 5, you get an extra one for free. You know?
Yep.
I wish.
I think I have like 4 or 5 day tags yet, but that's a couple for 5C and then 4A and 4C. So
You said about hunting upstate. You guys are hunting 4A?
No, upstate, I hunt like Sullivan County, so it'd be 3B.
Okay.
You go
4A. My dad has a cabin out in Huntington County. That would be 4A.
Yeah.
So that's a plan. Try and get some doe out there yet.
Down around Raystown Lake or up?
It's south. It's on the southern Huntington. It's right across the Fulton line.
Oh my.
That's Will's.
That's
next
close to
your
your neck of
territory.
the woods.
It's not too far away, yeah. I grew up in Bedford County.
Okay.
So, yeah, we were 4A and 2C.
It's a good area.
Yeah.
Especially for turkeys.
Oh, yeah. It's a wonderland, I guess.
Let's hear your 4A and 2C. Holla.
Where you at? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's wilderness there. You know, that Fulton County, Bedford County, that line there, Juniata, like that. You know, south of Raystown. You're in the woods.
Yeah.
The sticks, so they say.
Alrighty, guys. Fixed blade. I'm going to go into these questions.
What's the setups?
Yeah,
look like?
what's the setups?
I used to hunt fixed a lot. I was a muzzy guy for the longest time, and I killed some buck on them, and I loved them. And one of the first years I went out to Missouri, I hit a buck with my muzzy. It looked like a good shot. I mean, we had footage of this thing.
Them buck are tough out in
They are. They're big.
Yeah.
They're big.
Not just the buck, right, Bucky?
Yeah.
And I never recovered that deer, and I never heard the end of it. These guys all shot mechanical with rage and stuff, so I ended up making the switch, and I've loved it since, but I still carry some of my fixed blades, my muzzies. I just can't get rid of them.
So what are you shooting now?
Usually I shoot rage.
Okay, and what's your setup? What kind of bow setup are you on now?
I have elite archery. I mean, we kind of got tied in with Archery MD. It's in Bowmansville, real close to us, and they were always big on elite and some other bows. But we started shooting elite, and I mean, at the time when they came out, I mean, they were awesome bows, and they still are. I mean, the drawback, and when you go to release that thing, let it down, it's like you almost got to push it forward.
Yep.
And so they've been great for us. We've loved them, and majority of us shoot elites, and some guys shoot bow tech and stuff like that.
I say you can't forget we do have a couple
slow techs or whatever you
bow
want to
tech
call
guys in our group.
Okay, so that's what I was looking for.
There's a little
Thank you.
tension
Yeah,
there.
okay, good.
Did you guys ever have any of them bow tech shooters in your group draw back one of your elites?
I don't know if we did or not.
Because if they
they're
ever drew
scared
one
to.
back, they wouldn't want to draw their bow tech
They're
anymore.
afraid that they're going to be wrong.
I mean, you can't get more opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to draw cycle.
No, you can't.
Those elites are so smooth.
Yeah.
And, well, you figure out the other end of the spectrum because, I'm not going to talk down any bow. It'll work, but
I shoot rage too. I've been rage since day one, so I don't know. I never really saw a reason to change, but.
And they do the job for you.
That's right.
All right. That's all that matters, and you have the confidence to pull to send it too. So I mean, that's all that really matters, and that's what I'm finding is everybody has their opinion, but I think if everybody would be honest, this is what I'm comfortable with, and this is what I'm going to go with.
Sure.
And that's what happens.
Spent the most time with.
Yeah, exactly.
Massaging.
Yeah, confidence.
I know one of the reasons, though, why Dylan's still carrying around a pack of those muzzies. It's because they sell them in a 6-pack, and he probably got a couple boxes of replacement blades, so he got so darn many of those things.
I do have a lot.
Yeah.
And the thing that's nice about
that's why I'm still hunting with them.
The muzzies, like, all you got to do is sharpen the blades here and there. With rage, you got to always have those little caps or whatever, and that kind of drives me nuts sometimes.
Yep.
I'll push them into my quiver, and the cap breaks, and it's like, oh great, now I got to put another one on.
Yep.
Muzzies, I don't got to worry about that.
No, sir. New chisel tip and replacement blades. That ferrule's good to go.
Yep.
I wish he would shoot something else just
to do it.
I also shoot the G5 strikers. I have them both in my quiver.
Striker.
But it's pretty much the same broadhead. I mean, that's just G5 makes them instead of muzzy.
Yeah.
But it's fixed blade.
I mean, just the horse, the fixed blade horse that you ride in on every night.
Hey, the one thing I do like is, like, I've hunted Chester County and some thick stuff, and if you're on a spot and stalk, like, I don't have to worry about my fixed blade popping open or anything like that. I've already had a rage pop open. I'm like, oh great, now I gotta switch that out. With muzzies, I don't gotta worry about that. That's
our buddy Kyle also hunts Chester County, and he has these they're like state of the art, almost military like grade broadheads. They're called the Husqvarna. They cut through.
That's still in development.
Chainsaw blades.
Did I give it up?
Yeah.
So
Steel and Husqvarna.
Steel and Husqvarna are in.
We wish they would come out with
that. Would be sweet.
Yeah, you just
somehow a little 2-stroke in there with it going down.
Aim low because the deer might know it's coming.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to sell that idea to them? Because they might go for it.
We just tease Kyle because he never cut shooting lanes. So when you just said how thick it was, and I just wanted to go with it, just a little.
He says he
our
did
team buggering over here.
Yeah, we pick quite a bit.
He's a good boy though.
Kyle, I can't say that he has a slow tack because he's got that draw length that any bow would shoot quick.
It's like 38 inches or something. Is his draw length. Exaggerating maybe, but
I don't think it's far off.
Got Gumby arms.
In fact, it might be short.
He hung that sign on that wall back there, and he was sitting where I am.
Yeah.
And that's 8 foot, folks, for
at least. Yeah. No, he's just a big boy.
Yeah, he is.
You know, so he shoots bow tech, and I was thinking when you said slow tech, not Kyle's bow. I don't think any bow would go slow. You know,
No. I mean,
he's got that.
There's not a bow, and you tried to egg me on there a little bit when you said darting earlier.
I tried.
But there isn't a bow on the market that won't get the job done. So, you know, everybody's got things that they like over another, but shoot what you're comfortable with in the price range you're willing to pay.
Yeah.
And just get outdoors. That's the big thing. Just get out and do it.
Last week on The Current, we talked a lot about scent control and scent elimination. Can I have your guys' thoughts on that, since we're that's a big issue with us and we love talking about it?
It is. I feel like sometimes it goes both ways. There's some people that are over top of it, and then there's some, like, I look at my dad, like, he'll go into a tree stand after work and not have any scent cover, not even pay attention to the wind, and he'll see more deer than I do. And I'll try to play the wind, and I'll, cover my scent up, and yet he still see more deer than I do. Sometimes you don't know where to go with it. I mean, for the most part, we wash our clothes, we use scent crusher bags, and it's hard to say if they work or not. I know that one of the first times I ever had my stuff in a scent crusher bag, Kyle was with me, and we had probably 20 deer around us that never spooked, and I was sold on it right then and there. Like, I'd never had deer feeding right under me like that, and not have a single deer, catch my wind. And so I went out and bought one, but it's tough. I mean, I think if you play the wind and you can be successful. And
sure.
I think sometimes there's so much gimmicks.
Yeah.
And people buy into that stuff, and you think it's going to work, and when really, if you just kind of play the wind and you're smart about your stands, you're going to be successful.
There's something I heard, it's called a happy medium.
Yeah.
Because you could be like a germaphobe, like the germaphobes are with scent. And
like Howie Mandel.
Like, oh my gosh, I just walked through that, whatever, my hair now smells like something, or what. You can take it too far where you're so consumed with that, you're not even thinking about the bigger picture.
And I think,
but yet there's certain things to do, like wash your clothes. Don't have them smell like fried chicken, from your home, or like your dog.
It's a very specific example.
Yeah,
Did you fry some chicken last week?
If you get upwind of me, I might come to your stand.
I might get a will, but
my.
that was an extreme example. But then again, like you said, you can walk out of working your job, let's say at Kentucky Fried Chicken, go right up in the stand, and you see 30 deer.
Yeah.
And then that's like, oh my God, what am I spending all this money for?
And I think too, it has to do with the area you're hunting. Like, I think when we're hunting down Chester County, where me and my dad hunt a lot, there's people out walking their dog. It's surrounded by development. Like, these deer are used to smelling humans, and the landowner, walks his dog through the property, and like, those deer are so used to the human scent. And
I've seen it. I've seen them. They just hunker down. I've seen them just standing outside of the trail where people are riding bikes, dogs walk. They just squat when the people pass, then they start doing their thing again. Feed.
I mean, I've sat in tree stands and near
it's
walkways,
crazy.
and you can see deer, and they bed down, and they'll watch a human walking past, and unless that person turns in that deer's direction or makes a movement towards them, they will sit still the whole time.
Yeah.
But if you start to move towards them, then they get anxious and
If you have your bow in your hand, they're gonna move.
you wear camo, they somehow
it's like they know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everybody always says the deer are dumb in Chester County, but I don't know.
No,
they hold tight. They know what they're doing.
I've not seen a deer in Pennsylvania not look up.
Yeah.
They all look up.
Fried chicken.
Yeah, it must be. I must smell yummy.
It's that cool water you're wearing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dylan, you are, I think, absolutely right. It has a lot to do with the deer and their immediate environment, because I don't think anybody that hunts today has ever not been busted at some point.
Yeah.
Everybody's had the does blowing at them or just been winded. But to your point, the deer down Chester way are used to some scent, so you can get away with a little bit more. You try to get away with that same stuff up in the north central part of the state, it just ain't going to happen. They'll smell you one or 2 miles out.
Oh, yeah.
And they ain't coming in. So, you have to take a lot of that into consideration. My spin, my personal opinion on it is, try to do anything you can to eliminate the possibility of getting your hunt screwed up. You know, whether that's just the way over the top scent elimination regime that I have, or just being cognizant of just washing your clothes and getting a shower, and don't smoke in the tree stand, things, just silly stuff like that. Just lessen the odds that something's going to work against you.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I mean, there's plenty of times where you wash your clothes and you put them in the scent crusher bag and you have your wind right, and yet that doe somehow still smells it, and you sit there and go, I don't understand.
How does this happen?
And then the next time, your clothes have been dirty and reek of, especially in the early season, and yet they don't have a clue you're there. I mean, it blows my mind. I mean, we even know a guy that, he kills 100 deer a year, and that guy smokes cigars or those Swisher Sweets, and he kills 100, and he swears by them. What are they?
Red tags.
Yeah, red tags.
That's
red tags. That's how he does it. What's he smoke? The Swisher Sweet, like apple or whatever, and he swears by it.
That's,
he kills
that's
100
what's bringing
deer.
him in.
And it's crazy. Like, they're so hard to predict.
Yeah.
But
Another thing I like to do is get up high. I mean, I know that's not for everybody, but I like to get, like when I shot my buck this year, I have a bow rope that's about 30 feet long, and I had that thing almost stretched out. And I don't always
that is up there.
I don't always go that high, but my wind wasn't quite right for that tree.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? Why not? It's only going to help me. And I had them deer. Even the buck came right down wind from me and never caught my scent. And so I know it's not always maybe practical, or not everybody likes to get too high off the ground, but I think that can be a big factor too.
Oh my!
So you know enough to bend at the waist. That's right. So that's key. You start getting that high up in a tree, and you're talking some pretty steep angles.
No, I can't.
Bend at the waist.
I think the last time I went up was like 8 feet in a climber. I hate it. Kyle could touch it. The bottom of it.
Well, we already covered that. He's a giant.
Yeah, but still, it was not high. I can't. I get a weird knot, and I'm done.
Right, it can be scary.
I hate those climbers. That's crazy. Why did you choose that tree? Like, what made that tree the one? You've never hunted that spot before, right?
We used to have a stand in that tree, or like a tree right near it.
Okay.
And a couple years ago, then we kind of stopped hunting that area, so we had stands throughout the property, other places that we always hunted. Mm-hmm. And then I just decided I'm going to go back in that side there and just try it. And I had saved a tree on my phone from a couple years past, just pinned a tree, and I went in the dark. I thought I'm just going to get close, doing the whole flashlight deal, seeing if I can climb this tree. And
what app are you using for that?
I run Onyx, or even just my normal maps on
just your maps. Yeah, that's cool.
But it was one of those things that was just, like I said, just the right place at the right time.
Have you killed a deer of that size before and on that property?
No, I've killed 2, one that size and one bigger, but that's in Missouri. In PA, I've never killed anything close to that. So
really?
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Good for you.
And I think some of the reason you went to that area is last year, we had EHD or blue tongue, and there's a lot of deer down in that area that were killed. And you guys hunted that spot a lot and weren't really seeing deer last year at all. And so it was kind of like, hey, why not try a different spot on this property? You had kind of nothing to lose. And
yeah, like I said, it was just literally, I was basically on a scout mission. I mean, I was planning on hunting Saturday.
That's the best kind of scout missions.
Yeah.
The ones that end like that.
Yeah. I was planning on hunting Saturday, so I just thought, I'm gonna go out Friday morning and just sit somewhere new and see if anything's moving through. And
I'm gonna try that this weekend.
Bless your heart.
See if it works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go scouting too.
Old stand scouting.
I gotta drive all the way up to the cabin though to pull something like that off. Ain't gonna work.
Oh boy, that's awesome. I hate to do this.
Do what?
But
nuh-uh.
Yes.
No. Holy buckets! I just looked over your shoulder and saw the time. There's no way.
Nuh-uh.
Way.
I ain't done.
I always have that reaction, but this time I mean it. Like, there's no way. Oh, jeez.
Not lying. It's that time.
You are not lying. I'll give you that.
We do this thing called the Fast Five, and sometimes it's fast, and sometimes it's not fast.
Usually not. Especially with two guests.
Is it going to be the Fast 10?
Well, it's going to be the Fast 5 for each of them.
Ooh. We're close to math, guys.
Yep.
Close. Stop it.
Same 5 questions, 2 answers.
Whoa.
Yahtzee. So
that's my bind.
The answers can't be the same.
There's no wrong answer, but we'll tell you if it is wrong.
True.
So I'm going to start it off.
Go ahead, bud.
The first question, and Dylan, you can start.
Oh, jeez.
What is one thing that you can't live without in the outdoors?
One thing I can't live without in the outdoors. Huh.
You also cannot pass.
Do you want me to tell you?
He already knows your answer.
We talking like hunting, like just hunting in general, or
it's your question, so you get to choose. But
I mean, I think
whatever you think.
For me, the biggest thing I can't live without in the outdoors would be deer camp, or sharing those memories with my dad and my buddies at camp. Like that's probably my biggest reason for hunting and being in the outdoors.
Like a hunt camp.
Yeah, hunt camp. Like I mean,
for example,
I couldn't miss. I couldn't do without.
That's awesome.
Nice.
You should have let me start.
Oh yeah.
How am I supposed to come back after that one?
That's why I go last.
It's like Christmas morning.
But you'll catch heck for being the best at last too.
Absolutely.
So Jared, what's your answer then?
Man, that's tough. I mean, I don't know.
Besides your climber.
Yeah, right. Maybe this is too much like Dylan's, but I was gonna say the relationships, just relationships in general,
like getting to be on a podcast,
and getting to be on a podcast with some cool guys.
Yeah. Lucky.
Let us know when you do.
Lucky. We'd like to meet him.
Yeah,
too.
we would too. Yeah, we have some questions.
That's cool. And yeah, the relationships is awesome. Love it.
Can't beat it. That's why we do it. It's a Sonic Campfire. We love to sit around.
That's why you have a hunt camp.
It's funny, we're probably about 10 years out of high school, and I think back to high school, all my friends that I was, friends with in high school, if they didn't hunt anymore, I hardly, hang out with them.
Yeah.
The only guys I really talk to anymore or hang out with are guys that I hunt. We have such a connection in the outdoors from, hunting and filming, and that's pretty much who you hang out with anymore. And
absolutely.
It just seems like those, even if I've only known Jared for a couple years or some of the other guys, those relationships are so much stronger than guys I've known pretty much all my life, but that don't hunt. And it's just a different bond you have when you're hunting with guys.
Yeah, we always pour out some Cristal for those guys. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gone.
Bucky, quit pouring that beer on the floor, bud.
Well, I was literally pouring it out for the homies because I feel for them because they don't know what it's like. Guys, what is your favorite movie?
Ooh, man. All right. My favorite movie is probably a collection of them. I've always been a big fan of the Bourne Identity series. That's been my movie since I watched them. I don't know.
I'll give
50
you that.
times each. I've watched them a lot.
Because I can watch any one of those movies no matter where it is in the movie.
It is, and you can pick up right when it starts, and it's
on TBS.
Oh yeah.
Or
you'd be hard pressed to find a
TNT
better series of movies when it comes to like just straight up crazy fight scenes.
Oh yeah, action packed.
Yeah, exactly.
I was always a big Matt Damon fan too.
Guns, yeah. Jared, what's your favorite movie, bud?
I'm gonna get a little less serious. I'm gonna have to go with Dumb and Dumber. That's just been one from the beginning.
I love it.
That's a classic.
One of our favorites.
This is because of the buckskin boots he wears in the bathroom.
Why are you going to the airport? Flying somewhere?
That's a great movie, man.
What's your favorite line?
There's too many of them.
Any of them, huh?
I like on the scooter. Just go, man. Just go.
Just let it go.
That's a classic.
Love it, dude. That's great.
Two opposite ends of the spectrum there.
They're all good, though.
Yeah,
they're
man.
all good.
Yeah.
All right, so that
Ryan, do you have a question?
Puts us to question number 3. What is one thing you do daily to prepare for your outdoor lifestyle? I'm going to start with Jared.
Oh, thank God.
Daily.
He probably does
I think
ab
about it.
workouts to get to use that climber.
He does.
Because I can't get that high.
Yeah, right. Daily. Well, since I hung a trail camera here in July, I check that thing daily on my phone. It's one of the mobile ones.
I don't have a signal. I would love to have a place that has.
It's
I was gonna say don't.
Yeah.
It's addicting.
I would die.
That's
and
why I
when
do
the
it
signal's
daily.
not working, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I could imagine the text messages I'd be getting from Will. Look at this picture I just got. I can be there in 25 minutes. Do you think you'll still be there?
I'd have memes every day with, look at me now.
Are you thinking about me now?
Yeah, I'd be memeing it up with all these deer.
Nice.
Deer memes.
All right, Dylan, you had some time to think about it. What's your one thing you do daily?
That's a tough question. Oh, man.
Did you edit Jared's crappy footage?
I did not, thank God.
Daily?
It would have been rough. Evan did that.
Who has footage?
That's true.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Good one.
It's a burner right there.
How is his footage, by the way?
It is good. I think he did well.
He's solid.
Especially when it's self-filmed. That's tough.
That is hard.
I mean, it's one thing to kill a deer of that caliber, and then yet to get it on camera by yourself, it's tough.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for us is we do a lot of self-filming, and it's tough.
Yep, that can be tricky.
I dropped the ball last year, so I had to
make up for it.
Totally redeem yourself.
He did.
Yeah, man. You certainly, for like 2 seasons.
You did there.
There you go, Jared.
No, I think for me is, we have a group of guys, mainly 717 guys that, we pretty much talk daily about hunting. I think that for me is just kind of keeps that drive going is, we're constantly talking about, the conditions right or, filming or what we can do better and, posting on social media. And I think just being active, thinking about hunting and talking about it, it just kind of gets me in that mindset every day that, I need to, do better or figure out a better way to get in my stand or, figure out how these deer are coming out and just, when you have that mindset all the time,
I love bouncing the same question. I'll bounce the same question off 4 different guys.
Yeah.
Just to get, I know where I think I'm going with it.
Yeah, and even if you know the answer, it's always just reassuring if somebody agrees with you or somebody else throws something else out there and it's like, oh, actually, I didn't think about that.
Yep. That's the best.
It is the best. And it's great when you have a group of guys that, are all on the same page, that hunt as much as you and are all about and being able to kind of bounce ideas back and forth. And it just helps.
Some of them have a little bit different, degrees of expertise. And it just, you kind of, it is nice to have those kind of resources.
It is.
Yeah, very cool. I have another question.
Go on.
Let's stay with it. Jared being first. Gerard, what's on your bucket list?
A west hunt.
Really?
Elk hunt with a bow.
Any state in particular?
I don't know. I have a buddy that goes to Colorado and usually...
Everyone says Colorado.
They kill pretty often.
Yeah.
Public land?
Public land. Nice. All do it yourself. I mean, I think
if he listens to this, he's going to say, well, why didn't you just go along this year?
I know. He tells me that every year. But no, our one buddy, Mervin, I think he's like 7 for 9. He's killed 7 bulls in 9 years. Do it yourself. I mean, that's impressive. And it's not just, little stuff.
I'd say he might be a guide from here on out.
You would think. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
No.
He might. We just don't know about it.
He's doing some climbing, I'll bet.
Oh, yeah, he is.
That's incredible.
Golly.
Yeah. Those things, they're beasts. They're on a lot of people's bucket list for good reasons.
Yeah. 7 out of 9.
7 out of 9 years.
Public hunts.
Public land. All do it yourself.
Get you some.
Awesome.
With a bow.
With a bow, yeah. Impressive.
How about you, Dylan? What do you
go in a different direction because I would love that. But I think for me is, we've always kind of been, when we started 717, it was that waterfowl. And I would love to go to Canada and snow goose for a week and just snow goose and goose hunt. I just think that'd be a blast. I mean, I love hunting whitetails more than anything, but just to kind of do something different and you're with a group of guys, I mean, it'd just be a blast. Just slaughtering some geese.
Yeah.
Are you sure the time's right on this recording? We didn't even get to talk about anything but deer hunting.
No,
there were so many other things I wanted to touch on.
Dang it. 'Tis the season.
We'll come back.
Yeah.
Good.
We might
You're
have
gonna need
have
to.
that.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
I'm willing to throw it out there if you're willing to back me up.
All right.
I'd say second episode.
Well, you know it.
Yeah.
You have one more question to ask everybody,
Bucky
don't you?
is notorious for giving away episodes.
I do. I could talk for
This is Dylan's second episode.
Yep, it is.
It is.
Why don't you ask him that last question, Bucky?
Alrighty, guys. Fight over it yourselves who wants to go first, but what makes you guys happy? It's my favorite question.
This is a good question for a lot of reasons.
It is a good question. It is a good question.
I'll let you go first, Dylan.
Me? Oh, man. What really makes me happy, what I shouldn't even say, is my wife letting me go hunting.
That's the honest.
That is honest.
That's an honest answer.
Honesty, but no.
Nice job, Pander Bear.
No, I think what makes me happy is, family and friends, and being able to share the outdoors with them. Even like last year, I got my wife out and for a day, and she flintlock hunted with me.
Nice.
She killed a buck with a flintlock before I killed a buck with a flintlock. I mean, that was an awesome experience.
That's a great day then.
It was a great day. Oh, but that was 2 years ago. Not last year.
But still, it
seems fresh.
Seems like just yesterday.
Because I still had a buck tag in my pocket, and you took her over me.
Gives me a hard time for that, but no, that being able to share with family and friends, and that's what makes me happy.
That's wonderful.
I'm just going to go short, and it's going to be similar, but I was just going to say just being in the outdoors.
You like hunting with his wife?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, easy.
Hey, y'all are like family.
We are family. We are family.
Makes him happy. I didn't.
No, just being in the outdoors. I think that
makes you happy.
Anything, fishing, hunting.
What kind of fish?
Trout fishing, bass fishing. Yeah.
Very cool.
Used to do a lot more than I do now, but
yeah. You take advantage of the Susquehannas?
We don't.
Are you up there on the Delawares?
No. We used to do the Susquehanna some for smallies and stuff.
Yeah.
We used to do cat fishing a lot, night fishing. But yeah, once you have 2 kids and family now, it gets tough. You try and save everything for the fall.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It'll make its way back around when the kids get into fishing and hunting. Then you'd be like, I gotta go. I gotta take them. I don't even want to go today, but kids want to go.
I guess. Yeah,
I'm just excited for that age when you go to deer camp and all the older guys, they tell their wives they're leaving and they'll be back in a week and they don't hear from them. And us young guys get phone calls every night from our wives, and the guys are making fun of you. Oh, yep, your wife's calling again. It's like, man, I just can't wait till the wife is kicking me out of the house. Like, go. I'm sick of you.
Oh, mine was like that the first year we were married.
What's your secret?
I guess just being annoying.
Annoying? I tried that. It doesn't work.
These are real hard-hitting secrets.
That old Dylan, he's awfully irresistible.
Apparently. No. I wish.
Hey, guys, how can everybody out there get a hold of you all now? How can they follow you? How can they check out what's going on this season? Next year, going forward, tell them about it.
So, the biggest thing is when we switched over, we have a new Facebook page called Hunt Camp, and that's kind of where we're putting all our new material. And our Instagram page, we just kind of switched the name from 717 to Hunt Camp. So it's still the same account, just name switch.
It's just Hunt Camp.
Just Hunt Camp.
Hunt Camp. That's wonderful.
And then YouTube, we created another page for Hunt Camp. We kind of just wanted to almost push away from 717 to our old style and start kind of fresh. So, we got a YouTube channel. We'd love for people to follow us. We got Jared's Buck Kill on there, and we'll be putting out stuff this year. And
I was going to say, you put Jared's Buck Kill on 717 old stuff.
It's on the page, but it's shared off the Hunt Camp page.
You guys buried that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
It's out of jealousy that it's there.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
No, that's, dude... 140 and 144
NPA, that's awesome.
Is a sweet buck. I mean, like I said in the beginning of the episode, I'm very excited for this. It lends itself to a lot of cool things.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are, killing it. You're some of the best B-roll footage I know, and you guys are going to take that to another level and start to, put more content out. This is just super exciting. I'm really happy for you guys. Please keep in touch with us.
We need to. It's been too long, and I feel like even in that time period, it wasn't really. But I mean, like we said before, PA hunters, we got to stick together, and we got something special in this state, and compared to what they got out in the Midwest.
You think we could share a hunt camp together?
We can. We need this. We need to start. I don't know about you though.
What?
He's pointing at you, Buggy.
We're gonna lock you in a room. No, you might get a little too rowdy for us.
No room can keep Bucky contained. And actually, I'm a peaceful guy, actually. If you get to know me, I just get a little hyper around this
it's
Sonic
the
Campfire.
mics and the lights and
You fire up the mic, he does go a
the
little
fox
crazy.
furs, like it all gets him all jacked
You
up.
put the camera on, but then if you get me outdoors around a campfire, I slow down
There
and
you
turn
go.
into a different person. But this is, for us, this is lights, camera, action, and
Yeah.
it's what the fans pay
You're
for.
here to entertain.
Yes, sir.
Wait, isn't the podcast free?
It is. I just like that.
Every Monday and Thursday.
Delusions of grandeur. Just
You got to pay twice?
I'm practicing for the someday maybe day.
No, I love it. Great stuff. So definitely check them out. I mean, I'm really glad that you guys just sort of changed the name on Instagram, because I was scrolling back through that again from the last time that we had you on. I was looking at it again today all the way back through. I'm glad you didn't lose that old stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of good content. And,
It's beautiful.
and a lot of followers. It was like, man, to start fresh, that's rough.
That Instagram account is great. So give it a scroll back through, check all the stuff out, check out everything they got going on now. Guys, thank you so much for being on, Dylan, Jared.
Yeah, thanks
Great
for
to
having
you
us.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Stevie, tell us about this month's other sponsor.
This month is also brought to you in part by Miser Creative LLC. Rutten River Pursuits podcast is a production of Miser Creative LLC, and if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or if you need help creating video content for social media, look us up. Give Will an email at will@ruttenriverpursuits.com for more information or pricing options.
I do love me that Miser Creative.
I do too.
It's good stuff,
Yeah,
buddy.
Thank goodness. Keeping the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, bud.
How can people find us?
Well, as always, they can check us out at ruttenriverpursuits.com. Check us out on all your social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitters. Just search Rutten River Pursuits. Check out the YouTube page. Make sure you look for Rutten River Pursuits Podcast. And, of course, the podcast itself always available. All the great podcast apps.
They're
like
the greatest.
Spotify, Apple Podcast, and iHeartRadio.
I love that iHeartRadio.
iHeart radios.
Mm-hmm. Guys.
Yes, sir.
I think this Sonic Campfire.
It was hot.
Just blew the burners off this thing.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it did.
The panels in the new studio are melting.
I'm telling you
Love it.
what. Yeah, I'm topless again.
I can't wait to get back to hunt camp now. All this hunt camp talk.
So
I'm heading up.
everybody, thank you for putting up with us again. We appreciate it. Rig 'em weedless.
We kind of wanted to keep those core values, and you know what happens at deer camp is so much more than just a kill. I mean, there's so much that goes on, pranks and having fun.
If you've been
and
to my
relaxing.
camp, it's very rarely a kill.
Yeah.
Last year was a real eye opener for us too. You know, back in
Were
2000.
you wearing blindfolds?
Yeah, back in 2000.
Like an Amish horse?
It felt like
Yeah.
it went by quick.
Yeah, it did. Maybe this is too much like Dylan's, but I was gonna say the relationships, just relationships in general,
like getting to be on a podcast, and
getting to be on a podcast with
That's
some cool
cool.
guys.
Yeah. Lucky.
Let us know when you do.
Lucky. We'd like to meet him.
Yeah,
too.
we would too. Yeah, we had some questions.